Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Rod Schaub. I work for Frontier Extension District out of the Linden office. Today we're going to talk about electrifying gates, okay? I don't know that something like this is necessary if we're putting up temporary fence. It's only going to be there a few days. I sure wouldn't go to all the work of doing this. But if you've got some permanent fence out there, you want to have, I could put some gates in. I really like this idea. In this instance, what we're trying to do is electrify the gate without it being hot when it's unhooked over here. So let's talk about some of the parts that we have here. And typically what we want to do is dig a trench about a foot deep, maybe a little bit more, and then we'll put some conduit down. And of course then we want to use our double insulated underground wire. And this conduit, it can be something as simple as gray PVC pipe. Now, let me tell you, I've done some of it with 1/2 inch PVC pipe. It's not any fun to do with 1/2 inch. Use at least 3/4 or an inch. You'll get along a whole lot better. You can also use stuff like black rolled pipe for this. You can use, I've got some that I've used orange rolled pipe. I've got some that I've used like 1.5 or 2 inch PVC pipe. So that's some of the things that you can use as far as putting your double insulated wire in. Always make sure that we're going to want to glue all of our joints, and then we're going to want to make sure the water can't get in. So we're going to make some kind of something so water doesn't drain right back into this. So in this case it looks like we put a U up there, and then of course we attach the underground cable to our line here and to our line over there. From that point, we've got our fences hot. We just need to put our gate in. So we hook onto the fence here, come back around over here, and there's lots of different things we can use for latches, okay? Here's some latches. Here's a white latch that you could screw or nail onto a post. There's a black latch, and here's a T-post latch even, if you wanted to make something out of a T-post. Some other latches, these are some homemade latches. This one is just a piece of that 1/2 inch gray PVC pipe. I tied a loop on the end of some underground cable and did that. That's one. And what we would do here is we would attach it out here to the hot wire. We would put a zip tie here and a zip tie, something like this, around that post to hold that up there, and that would be how we would do that. This one, very similar. Only thing I did different here is I just used high tensile wire. I tied a knot and going to use that as my latch. So these are some real inexpensive ones. If you want to go buy them, these are fine too. Next thing we'll talk about a little bit is handles. There's all kinds of handles out there. Probably the better ones are the compression type handles. This is probably the best handle that we have. Very hard to pull. This handle will last a long time. An issue with this handle though, however, might be is if you use this gate latch, you can see it won't fit in. So you want to make sure that you choose the right latch so you can make sure that the handle that you got is going to work. Now this one's going to be more expensive than the rest of these. These spring handles, you get what you pay for. If you have them hooked up and a cow gets into the hot fence, what happens? It stretches this spring out, and you're going to have to replace the handle at some point. So just know that, be aware of that. That's some of the things to look for with handles. As far as gate material, here's some gates. This was a kit that I bought. It's made out of bungee cord. The bungee cord does have some metal pieces in it, metal strands in it. Of course, you'd hook it and hook it. I just don't know how long, whether the UV light will mess with this or not. I don't know how long it will stay stretchy, but that's something that's out there for sale. Here is another thing that's out there for sale. As you can see, you'd hook it to the post, stretch it out and hook it on. I can see lots of problems with this. Have you ever seen a cow, when she swishes her tail, she might be up by the water. In my instance, I have the water real close to some of my gates, and I could see her getting her tail caught in this, it's shocking her, and when we got done, have maybe a 100-foot slinky instead of this 1.5-foot gate. So those are some of the things that are out there. What I really like to use is, I use a lot of 1/8-inch cable. This 1/8-inch cable costs about 45 cents a foot. Not too expensive, but it's pretty pliable. You don't really have to worry too much about anything like that. That works really, really well. The other thing that you can use is 16-inch cable. This cable costs about 29 cents a pound. The thing I like about this is, you know, if a cow hits it, it's sure not gonna break it. And I don't know which, at this point, would be the hardest to break. Is it gonna pull the spring out, or is it gonna break this little plastic post? But if it breaks it, okay, I can replace this. If you ever lose on these pin lock insulators, if you ever lose a pin, you can always put a nail in through it, or something like a screw or something like that to hold the wire in place. So that's something else that we want to talk about. The last thing that I want to talk about is note the location of the gate compared to the hot wire that comes into this insulator. Some of the gates that I put them up here, and I would open the gate, bring it around over here, and this gate would touch that wire, and occasionally I did get shocked, so I have had to go out and I've replaced that. I've moved them all lower than my incoming gate. So that's some of the things we want to talk about. I'm going to go outside, we're going to take some pictures, and we'll show you some of the things that I've used that go underneath the ground, and maybe it's just some ideas for you. So I'll be right back, and we'll wrap this thing up. Thanks.